Welcome to GeorgeWay Math TV.
George can paint a house in 5 hours. Dave can do it in 4 hours. How long would it take the two working together? Oh, I learned that anytime I'm being given a word problem and it's a working together word problem, they don't mention anything about total, nothing. It's just about time. I know I have to use this formula right here. 1 over A plus 1 over B equals 1 over C, where the C is the total time. Oh, okay. And I just plug in everything they gave me right here. So they're talking about George and Dave painting a house, right? So just George. They're talking about me? Oh, well. Alright. Just George. It will take him 5 hours to paint the house. So I'm going to say the A, they're referring to George. So 1 over 5, because the A and B are time, right? And then plus 1 over what? The other one is Dave. It took him 4 hours. So 1 over 4 equals 1 over C, which they're referring to when they are working together. So this actually, yeah, it's not just about total time. It could also be, when they are working together, the time. Okay. Alright. And now I'm just solving for C. And anytime I have an equation that involves a fraction, I know I have to get rid of the fraction by finding the LCD. So looking at this, the LCD, I'm going to look at the numbers first. The LCD for 5 and 4 is 20, and I just add the variable C to it. So the LCD becomes 20C. And I'm going to multiply each term by that 20C. So this times 20C, and I make sure I put it at the top right there. Times 20C, and then this time 20C. And now I just do 1 times 20 is 20, and then divided by 5 is 4. And then I just add a C. So this 10 to 4C. This one, 1 times 20 is 20. I divide by 4, I have 5. And then I just add a C. So it's 5C. Equals 1 times 20 is 20. And then there's no number right here. So I got 20C divided by C. The C's cancels out. So I just have 20. And then I just, here 4C and 5C. They both have C's, right? So they are like terms. So I'm going to just do 4C plus 5C is 9C divided by 20. I'm solving for C. So I have to divide by 9. So C equals 20 over 9, or 20 over 9 is what? 2 whole number, 2 over 9 hours. So if Dave and George are to work together, it's going to take them that less time. 2 and 2 9 hours. So again, this formula I shouldn't forget. I always have to use that formula. Alright, let me see if I really got this right here. Alright. George, you got this? Yeah, I got this. Alright. So this one to the side, if Leslie and Mary are to work together to paint in the house, it will take them 2.22 hours to do it. But if it would take just Leslie 5 hours to paint the house, how long would it take just Mary to paint the house? Well, again, they didn't mention anything about total. It's just about time. So anytime I have a word problem that is just about time, I know that I have to use this formula right here. 1 over A plus 1 over B equals 1 over C. And by the way, I have to use another marker so it will be clear for my teacher to see. So 1 over A plus 1 over B equals 1 over C, where the C is a total, or they're referring to when they are working together, or the working together time. Okay, so now I just plug it in. So they're talking about Leslie and Mary. So if they are working together, it's going to take them 2.2 hours if they are working together. And this part is always the working together time. So the working together is 2.22. And it will take just Leslie 5 hours to paint it. So just Leslie is the first one right here. So I'm just going to say 1 over, it will take her what, 5 hours. So 1 over 5. And then plus 1 over For Mary, they didn't give us how long it would take just her to paint it. So I'm just gonna put B. And then I'm solving for B. To solve for B, looking at this, I have an equation that involves fractions. So I have to get rid of the fraction by finding the LCD. And looking at this, finding the LCD is going to be very tough because it involves decimal as part of the denominator. So the easy way to do this, I'm just going to multiply the numbers. So I got 2.22 times 5. That gave me 11.1. So I got 11.1, and I just add the variable b to it. So I'm multiplying this term by 11.1 b. I multiply this by 11.1 b, and I multiply this by 11.1 b. But it's not. I know it's not always going to be tough like that. It's not always that I'm going to have to do something that involves decimal like that. But in this case, it is. That's why I had to multiply it. But I always find the LCD, and then I multiply each term by that LCD. And now, 1 times 11.1 is 11.1. 11.1 divided by 5 gives me 2.22. And I just add a b to it. So this is 2.22b. And then plus 1 times 11.1 is 11.1. So I got 11.1b over b. The b's cancels out. So I just have 11.1 equals 1 times 11.1 is 11.1. And then 11.1 divided by 2.22 is 5. So I got 5b. And I'm solving for b. But I have 2 b's. And I don't want to get rid of this b, because if I get rid of this, I'm going to end up with 0. So that means this b is the one that I want to get rid of. And I do the opposite to get rid of it. So minus 2.22b. And what if I do one side? I'm doing the same thing right here. So minus 2.22b. And this cancels out. So I got 11.1 equals 5 minus 2.22. That is 2.78. So I got 2.78b. And I'm solving for b. So that means I have to get rid of the number in front of the b. So I do that by dividing 2.78, 2.78. The 2.78 cancels out. So I have my b by itself equals 11.1 divided by 2.78. And that gives me 3.99 if I'm to round it. Let me see right here. Yep, 3.99. So it will take 3.99 hours for Mary to paint the house. And that's it. But again, I just know that I have to remember this formula. So that's the key right there. Anytime I'm being given a working together word problem. So George, anytime you're being asked to, you're given a working together word problem and they didn't mention anything about total, it's just time. You have to use this formula. 1 over A plus 1 over B equals 1 over C. Where the C is a working together time. And just plug it in and just know how to get rid of fractions by finding the LCD. Multiply each term by that LCD. Once I get rid of the fractions, just solve it like I would do for any equation. Okay. I got this. What about you? Now it's your turn. I want you to keep practicing questions like these, right? And the more you do it, that's how you are going to get it also, okay? Alright.
Please don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell to be notified for new videos, and share.